Hello, everyone. Everyone talking about what's happening in North Carolina. Is it Florence?
Florence or Flo, either or.
Flo. I like Flo. Okay.
Okay,
In
please
North
do it.
Carolina. Yeah, you live in, and I'll put up a map. Explain to everyone where you are.
I live in Morganton, North Carolina, which is the western part of the state, but it's the eastern part of the impact of Hurricane Helene. I was without power until 2 days ago. Most of the county is still without power. We still have many trees down. I counted 94 trees on westbound lane in a 12-mile stretch.
Wow. So
And
I have on the map, this is your town. And
yes,
then as
sir.
I widen out, if you go to the west, there's Marion,
Marion. Yes,
and
sir.
then you keep going, and that's when you run into, that's where it gets worse, right?
It's worse. Starting at, like, for example, exit 116, which is Conley Springs, just inside of Burke County. Um, my daughter lives there, did not lose power at all. So I'm 12 miles down the road from her, had no power. I still have no internet, have limited cell coverage. We had flooding and power lines down, but the mudslides and the extreme flooding was west and north of us. So
Wow. You're lucky. I mean, it could have been a heck of a lot worse where
I'm
you are.
blessed. I'm very, very blessed.
So, what are you? Do you have any family, friends that are impacted even more? People you're talking to? What are you hearing?
We're hearing there's still many, many people missing, and it's heart wrenching. Facebook is flooded with, can you find this person? We have lists out. We have groups. It's Brad Panovich. I have to give him a shout out. He's a meteorologist here. He's doing
I know him well. He's a great guy, good guy.
He's doing wonderful humanitarian efforts to get resources in. Every morning I check Facebook. We have people who are putting coordinates down if they can of where they're still stranded. I heard this morning there's an elderly couple that's across probably a flooded creek or waterway that their neighbors cannot get to them. People are starving to death because we cannot get to them. Mule teams are going up. These are inaccessible. The roads are gone. The power's gone. Chimney Rock was a tourist attraction. It's completely gone. It's wiped out. There's nothing left to it.
Yeah, everyone keeps wanting me to ask about Chimney Rock. I've never been there. I lived in North Carolina, but I didn't visit your side of the state, though. Chimney Rock was a very beautiful vacation spot.
It is. It was. It's very a lot of historical artifacts there. A very, very touristic historical site. It's gone. It's not there. They were talking today that they're going to bulldoze it to try and build it up again, but it's no longer Chimney Rock.
That is so sad. So this happened, was it last weekend? When did it hit? When was the
hurricane hit Friday?
So almost a week. Almost a week.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And that is, what's your thoughts that, and still there are people that most likely still need to be rescued?
Oh, yes, sir. Every day. There's thousands that we cannot locate. In the western part of North Carolina, we have the mountains. So what we call ourselves are mountain people. So they're very, very self-sufficient people. And typically their homesteads and towns are along creeks, rivers, that sort of thing, of where you settle and make your homesteads. And of course, all those flooded and mudslides. So these people have no homes left. If there is a home, it's isolated. There's no power. There's no cell service. There's no way to contact help. People are asking if they know where people are. I know of one poster, the husband got washed down the river. He was in the hospital, or as a fiance, I'm sorry. And she got washed down and is in an inaccessible part of our mountain that we don't know if her body can even be recovered. So it's very, very sad. It's horrible. And the death toll that they're claiming is inaccurate.
It's worse. It's way worse.
It is. Mission, and I'm going to blow this out. Mission Hospital in Asheville has over 900 bodies as of yesterday that were unidentified. Grace Hospital in Morganton has bodies piling up. They are putting bodies in warehouses and in trailers. And we're talking thousands of people are dead.
And you're hearing that from people you know that are
sir.
From or work at the hospital or something?
Yes, sir.
Wow. How has, I guess, the state of North Carolina, have they been okay responding, or how have they? Obviously not.
I mean, it feels like, what we have heard is that we are not asking for help. How can you ask for help when you do not have a phone, when you do not have internet connection? Thankfully, we got some Starlink was brought in so that people are actually able to make a little bit of a connection, and some families have found that people have survived. However, we were completely cut off. It was being like, it's devastation. It's third world. There's nothing, and you can't ask for help if you can't communicate it.
No, you're absolutely right. And Elon Musk, I mean, stepped up and
forever grateful. I would hug that man. I would hug him. It's just to see the stories where they got connected to Starlink and were able to talk to a son or to a grandmother. It is wonderful. We did have a family member that I was able to talk to yesterday, so wasn't sure if she was okay or not, but I was able to contact her finally yesterday, and she's fine. But there was my daughter's best friend's grandmother lived just above Boone in a little town called Velas. No contact. It was several days of just not knowing whether she was alive or not. Grace of God, she is alive, but this is not the story for many of our neighbors. It's not.
Why? I know President Biden, I think, is it today he's in North Carolina? Or
I thought it was yesterday.
Or maybe yesterday. I'm sorry.
He did a flyover. Yes, sir.
Yeah, which some people are saying actually is not a good thing because it's closing the airspace, and you need the airspace for all the helicopters and drones.
Yes, they're taking the helicopters in there. You have people on four-wheelers. The mule teams are up right now going in there because it's inaccessible.
How is the federal government? I've heard a lot of criticism that they're not, but what they said, they didn't get the calls for help. That's why they didn't come in.
How can you call if you don't have any way to call? So, I would like him to answer that. I wish they would actually be on the ground and talk to some of these people up in Mitchell County, up in Boone, even over in Avery County that are worse than I am. At least I could drive to a county to get cell phone service. They can't drive. They can't get out.
Yeah. Did you see it was interesting article, and it's real. I read it was real, Associated Press, that FEMA's running out of money, which is.
I heard that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the federal government, you live in the United States, you should, you're people who rely on yourself, but you need help at this point. All of you do. I mean,
there are children. Burke County is accessible. There are still power lines down, but even in just Burke County, the teachers, if they can, in the schools, they do have a food program. They're going door to door to these children. They're finding them. Some of these children are going days without food in an area that doesn't have the mudslides. So if we're impacted that bad in a county that we can get around in, I cannot fathom what my neighbors are going through. I cannot.
And I can't confirm, what you're saying about all the bodies being found, but you're saying in days or weeks, we're going to learn that's going to be the case probably.
I would hope the truth comes out. I would hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, this is not a time for politics. This isn't a time. This is a time to save lives, right?
It is. It is. If you think about it, we're a week out from a massive hurricane that hit inland that never should have hit inland. We had the perfect storm set up. We've had 12 inches of rain in the mountains prior to this hurricane setting. It was a geological nightmare is what happened. So that moisture pulled up and fed that hurricane further, dumped more 10 to 12 inches of rain on top of the already saturated ground. It was just a fluke thing that you can't plan for this.
No, and that was, oh, wow. Well, obviously people like myself and others are praying, and I'm trying to put the word out for people to donate to reputable, because there's probably a lot of scammers out there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Trying to make money. So what can people do? Pray, give to real organizations?
Churches are taking Samaritan's purses in. They're on the ground.
Are they good? Are they good, Samaritan's?
They're getting stuff out to people. So, they were here, I think, within a day or 2 days. So, that's one I keep seeing a lot is Samaritan's Purse.
So they'd be a good one. They'd be a good one to donate to. You
yes,
trust
sir.
that? You trust them?
Yes, sir.
Because you actually see them out doing stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So is it Samaritas First?
Samaritan, Samaritan.
Okay.
And then second word purse. P-U-R-S-E.
Okay. Oh, I see it. Oh, okay. A lot of people. Purse, as in like a purse.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to
Sorry, it's a little bit of Southern accent there.
No, I lived in Alabama and North Carolina, but I kept the regional TV accent. Okay, well, I'll put that out there because a lot of people are asking me how they can help. And I plan on going to your area to visit in next year, but this is going to be a long. I mean, you're going to need help. Your area will need help for months and months and probably years to come because you're going to have to rebuild entire towns. It sounds like.
Yes. There's a small town just northwest of Boone. I believe it's Spruce Pines. I don't know that much. If you live in the South, you know where you're going. You don't know names of roads. You don't know things. But they have a mine there, a quartz mine that is a very high quality quartz that is closed indefinitely. So that's loss of economy for our area. It's loss of products for the world. I just read that article before we got on to this interview, so I can't restate it with complete 100% accuracy. But it's sad. And knowing that these places are wiped out and these businesses cannot reopen, the water lines are above the frame of the door. So when you see the cameras, the water line's way up here, the water's receded, you've got 4 to 6 inches of mud on the floor, if you even have a building standing.
That's ridiculous. Wow. Well, I want
to say one more thing. Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina is not even going to reopen until after fall break. And they're going to reassess whether or not they can open at that time due to the damage. Western North Carolina University in Coley, they're hoping to have classes resume tomorrow, but they're not sure. They're also an emergency hub for a lot of people. So,
wow, I want to bring. I just saw this picture and I'll bring it up here. Hold on, the mules. They're literally bringing in
mules.
Yes, from back in the day, like in the westerns. You see the picture right here. They're bringing in mules. Oh, the road. Look at that. The roads that are.
Yeah, if there's a road, it normally looks like that, or it's crumpled up, or it's just non-existent.
Oh my! And they're literally like back in the the westerns. You see bringing in things with the mules. That's what it's come down to.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Oh my. Okay. Well, I'm praying for all of you. Keep me updated. Save my connection. I'll give you my email because you never know what's going to happen with this platform, Facebook or whatever.
That's true.